Assalamualaikum. Hi, my name is Fazirah, and I will talk about how can the study of semantic increase students' understanding in words meaning, sentence relationship, and etc. So firstly, what is semantic? Semantic is one of the important branches of linguistics that deals with meaning of words and sentence structure. So if a student study this semantic properly, they will surely have better understanding in words, meaning, sentences, and many more. So firstly, we need to understand about words. A strong understanding of words can help us to convey clear messages and make our speech interesting and fluent. So to be fluent in a language, we need to have a better understanding, a deep understanding of words and meanings. We have to know that words and meaning are two different entities. In the study of semantic, we will learn about seven types of meaning, which is meanings play a vital role in understanding to have better understanding in what is communicated. So in the study of semantics, students will learn more about words and learn about the 7 types of meaning. So they will have better understanding if they learn it, and of course with the help of teacher. Okay, other than that, to make students have better understanding in sentence relationship, a teacher can prepare a various learning material to expanding and retaining students' vocabulary. This is because to be fluent in a language, expanding and retaining vocabulary is very important. In semantic, they are part of the semantic words that can help students to improve their vocabulary and improve their understanding of the relationship between words and sentences, which is the semantic relation or semantic of words. There are 6 semantic relations that can help identify aspects of meaning that relevant to the linguistic analysis, which is we took synonym for example. Synonym is the semantic relationship that exists between 2 or more words that have the same meaning and belongs to the same part of speech. For example, big and large. Both have the same meaning, belongs to the same part of speech, but have different spelling. Okay, lastly, there are many more branches in semantic that can help students to have better understanding in this study. I'll just give another one example, which is compositionality. In compositionality, students will learn more about the meaning of a sentence. Therefore, it is very important to study semantic so that we can have better understanding in words, phrases, sentences, and many more. Teacher will play an important role in helping their student to have better understanding in this semantic study. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ellyfriscka Justine, and on this video I will talk about how can the study of semantics contribute to solving the students' difficulties with meanings during classroom teaching. As we know, semantics is the study of meanings of the words and sentences. It conveys the interpretations of individual texts, the constructions of sentence, and the literal meanings of the text. Hence, it is important for students to have proper understandings of semantics during classroom teaching to allow students to deliver any message clearly and without any misinterpretations. Therefore, the study of semantics provides solutions for students to understand better during classroom teaching. Firstly, the study of semantics provides helps to the students as it consists of concepts that can be represented through prototypes. Using prototypes, students can understand certain meanings visually and facilitate the students' creations of mental connections of the word. This way, students are able to generate the concept of an idea through a concrete visual. Next, the establishment of lexical relations also helps to solve students' difficulties with meaning. For example, synonyms and antonyms allow students to understand how the meanings and the words are related to each other. Hence, they will gain a better grasp in understanding the words' meanings that might be close related to each other, such in pronunciation, spelling, and also meaning. For instance, they will learn that the word bank is a synonym which have two different meanings, but it has the same pronunciations and spellings. Knowing words' meanings are far different from understanding the meanings of the words carried by the phrases and sentences. As it always change, the words can change in accordance to the context of the sentence or phrases. The study of semantics shows that words have conceptual meanings, connotative meanings, affective meanings, collocative meanings, stylistic meanings, and other meanings. The different types of sentence can help students to perceive correctly the meanings that a word trying to convey in a sentence or phrase. For instance, affective meanings convey the speaker attitudes and feelings such as politeness, irritations, and sarcasms. Knowing the existence of implicit meanings is important for students to analyze the meaning of a sentence properly. Semantics is important on expressions, ideas, and understanding context. To build cognitive structure understanding, students can group words that have the same meanings or words that contain meanings that are related to each other. Take for example, synonyms that have similar meanings can help students to identify the most appropriate words to use based on the sentence that they want to create. Therefore, they will gain more understandings of meanings that use in the words based on the sentence. Last but not least, through the study of semantics, students are exposed to the following concepts such as reference and sense, referring expressions, and more. This way, students will engage deeper into interpersonal and non-literal meaning. It also enables them to interpret and utilize the meanings in context appropriately. This is because they will learn to look critically on how the meanings can play different roles by which it can be altered according to the context. For instance, through grammaticalizations, it shows how the contents words are semantically bleached and turned into functions words, and also how the context shapes the meaning. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hello to Dr. Asma and everyone. I am Adibah and I'm going to present what kind of relationship is between teaching semantics and improving English second language learners' skill. The study of semantics is important in improving the learner's English language skills because learning semantics can enhance the students' understanding and awareness of meaning of words, sentence relationship, discourse and context, and many more. As a matter of fact, the study of semantics is the key to unlock the understanding of language. So, what kind of relationship is between teaching semantics and improving ESL learners' skill? First and foremost, teaching semantics can help the learners to understand the surface and deep meaning of words. By understanding the surface and deep meaning of words, it can improve the ESL learner's skill in comprehending the real meaning from the speech of others. If a teacher is too focused on syntax and vocabulary, it can obstruct the understanding of top-down phrases which link to discourse and pragmatics. There is one example conducted by Sharing and Choi, which show an illustrative example of how some Korean in EFL universities only knowing the suppressed meaning because of the excessive emphasis on syntax. They provide a dialogue within a Korean student and American student as an example. An American student told the Korean student that he's happy that he made him some cookies. And then the Korean student said, "Then you should say thank you." And as a response, the American student said, "I thought I just did." Misunderstanding like this can happen in educational contexts that mainly focus on grammar. The failure to grasp semantics and pragmatics may produce large barriers and obstacles to have an effective interaction with other people. Learning semantics enables students to interpret and utilize language in context appropriately. Next, teaching semantics can help ESL learners to distinguish synonyms, antonyms, polysemy, and homonyms. One of the main reasons why learning synonyms, antonyms, polysemy, and homonyms will be able to improve the ESL learner's skill is because language is ambiguous, especially English language, so the students need to be able to distinguish them. For this presentation, I will only present the examples of synonyms and antonyms to show why learning this will improve the students' skills. English nouns have on average 5 to 8 close synonyms. However, synonyms may differ in connotation. It might be a problem to choose the most appropriate synonyms, but through semantics, the learners will know how to distinguish them. For an example, the word anger. Anger is a feeling of annoyance, displeasure, and hostility. Outrage is one of the synonyms for anger, but it is a stronger feeling than anger. Outrage is a feeling that sweeps one away into an uncontrollable violence. Even though anger and outrage are synonyms, both cannot be used in the same setting because both have different levels of feeling and must be used in the appropriate context and situation. Knowing antonyms will expand the learner's vocabulary, especially in writing. For instance, if they want to say the opposite of healthy, instead of saying not healthy, they could have said sick or feeling ill. Not only it will bring variety to their speech or writing, it will also improve their skill in English language. Last but not least, teaching semantics can help ESL learners to have learning strategies to support them in word retrieval during written and oral communication. Word retrieval happens when a student tried but failed to produce a word that is part of his or her receptive vocabulary. In other words, he or she knows the meaning of the words and has produced it before but can't seem to recall it at the moment. This problem is indicated by the tip of the tongue challenge, by which the learners will feel frustrated when he or she are not able to say what they want. This problem can be controlled if they learn semantics. In this case, word retrieval should include explaining the meaning of words. Semantics elaborates the student's schema of known vocabulary through discussion, and it facilitates the assimilation of new vocabulary into an established background at the level of processing. That is all for this part. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Rifqi and today we're going to discuss why is the study of semantic is important for teachers and student ESL in classroom in general and in relation to idiom. Before we start, let us look back at what semantic is. Semantic is the study of interpretation and meaning of a word, phrases, sentences, and symbols. A good understanding of a word let us know where to use the word in a sentence, what are all the possible meaning for the word, and what are the words that can be used in their place. The aim of semantic is to find out why the meaning of a word is complex than the words that is written down in a sentence. So why does this study is important to teachers and students? Students can benefit from semantics as it increases one's understanding of word meaning, sentence relationships and discourse, and context. Moreover, they also help in eases vocabulary learning and develop students' linguistic knowledge. A teacher can make students better in sentence relationship by conducting and providing students with vocabularies activities such as listening, writing, reading, and speaking. Hence, topic in semantic that is significant to linguistic analysis like antonym, synonym, polysemy, and so on and so forth can help in improving students' vocabulary lessons. An idiom is an expression, word, or phrases that have figurative meaning. The meaning is different from the literal meaning of the idiom. In other words, idioms don't indicate exactly what the words express. For example, spill the beans. In one glance, we assume that the sentence referred to the bean that has been spilled. But actually, the literal meaning of this idiom is to tell one secret information. Remember that semantic deals with meaning of a word, sentences, and phrases. So, a teacher can use idiom in teaching students as its sentences have more meaning than meets the eye. Plus, teaching using idiom is a fun way to engage students to take part in it. Idioms help us convey various of things in just a few words. They help in enriching our language, are nicer to hear, and make the conversation less monotonous and funnier. This will ease the teacher in teaching the students as the students finds it interesting in learning the idioms.
Assalamualaikum and hello to Dr. Asma and everyone. It's me again, Adibah, and this time I'm going to present what is the importance of teaching idioms for ESL learners. Correctly stated that it is through lexicalized phraseology, which idioms are generally considered to be, that language expresses its resilience and color. This means that not teaching ESL learners about idioms is such a great disservice. So, one of the importance of teaching idioms for ESL learners is to help the learners to gain a deeper knowledge about the creative expression of the human thoughts. Idioms give the students a new way to express themselves in the English language. In fact, idioms will allow students to express complex ideas in a more simplified manner so that other people can relate to them quickly. Idioms add color to the language. It will help the students to make emphasis and make their judgment, observation, and explanation more lively and interesting. Learners can achieve more vocabulary through the use of idiomatic expression, have a good understanding of the language, and the possibility to become more proficient is higher. Besides that, teaching idioms for ESL learners is important because by understanding idioms, it can boost their conversational English skill. Idioms could be one of the ways to improve their communicative skill in using English language. Idioms may help the students to be a better speaker, as idioms make English language a natural, conversational, and creative sense. Jabari and Jaza claim that learners who are able to use idiom will become more proficiency and a higher fluency in second language learning and acquisition. Lastly, the importance of teaching idioms for ESL learners is that it is significantly effective in the process of teaching and learning. Mola expressed that idioms to mind and memory is a mental aerobic in which learners will become mentally more active and pressure when memorizing and recalling idioms. Idioms are the spice that learners can add to their English skill as they progress through English lessons. Knowing the basic of English is always a good start, but idioms can help learners to explore English language in a deeper and more meaningful way. That is all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum to Dr. Asma. I hope you're in good health today. Today I'll be presenting the strategies of teaching idioms. The most important strategy in my list would be to not overwhelm the students when starting to teach them idioms, because not all the students are same in intellect and will be able to grasp right away how idioms work. Firstly, when introducing idioms, we should be giving them very simple, non-complicated idioms that are really easy to visualize. Like, for example, it's a piece of cake. It can be accompanied by a visual presentation like this picture over here. Or it could also be another idiom that's very interesting. This is my personal favorite, which is it's raining cats and dogs. And the visual presentation can be given like this picture also, yeah? Okay. On to the next point, it would be using conversations as a medium to drop in idioms. Like, perhaps you already taught the students the usage of idioms and how they function and their meanings behind very simple idioms, like I've said before. So it can be dropped into easy conversations, like perhaps in your class one day it would be raining and then it's raining really heavily, and then you just drop the term it's raining cats and dogs. By consistent usage of idioms, it would enable the students to remember them well and know how to use it and not be too shy into using them in everyday conversations, because the main point of even learning idioms is to sound more fluent or more native-like, basically. So the usage of idioms would enable them to be more proficient in English. Okay, on to the other point is to use storytelling. Well, it could be like a really short story that's very tragic or sad, like for example this one. Michael was crying at his own father's deathbed. He knew he was dying, but he could not let go. And from there, you could also make really fun short stories to tell to your students, or just find ready-made ones with idioms inside them for your own students. That way it'll be like more like storytelling than learning, but at the same time, but they're also learning. Yeah, am I right? Well, on to the next point would be not pressuring them into learning idioms, because not every single student will be able to understand it right away, like I've said before this. So basically just don't pressure them. But how do we not pressure them into learning but able to make them understand at the same time? My solution is having games or interesting activities in order to catch their attention, visually, physically, or auditorily, because you could use music, you could use visual presentation like pictures I've showed before, like this one, or you could even use physical activities that includes an item, which I will be telling later on in the teaching plan. Next would be the teaching plans on teaching idioms. Well, basically the teaching plan this time that has been come up with is to use music and a hot potato item game as an activity in the classroom. So basically, one item needs to be a hot potato and it needs to be portable. Like for example, it can be this remote, or it can also be this water bottle, or this even water gun, as long as it's portable at least. It cannot be unportable because it'll be passed around in the classroom. You definitely cannot use a huge doll like this one. So on to the next step is to have music. So in order to have the whole classroom to hear the music, we should have a portable speaker like this. Ah yes, it looks nice. Or if your computer has a good audio or phone, that could also be used as the music accompaniment. Just download a good song, a cheerful song, to have the whole classroom be pumped up when doing this activity. So using this remote as an example as the hot potato, I'll be the first student holding on. When the first student holds on to this hot potato, they will be passing around the hot potato to the person and to the next when the music starts. And when the music stops, that student that was last holding onto the hot potato will be needing to answer a question from the teacher in charge or teaching idioms. So the question should be related to idioms and be really simple ones that was already told in the classroom. Like, for example, it's raining cats and dogs. What is the meaning of this idiom? You could ask your students, and they'll be cheerfully saying, oh, I know, it means it's raining really heavily. So that's one example of a teaching plan. Another plan would be that's less expensive because not everyone might have a phone or good phone with good audio or a laptop with a good audio or a speaker like this. So you could just use a simple activity that only needs a whiteboard, marker, and also a whiteboard. So basically you need to have the students come into pairs and then have them come up with new idioms. But take in mind, this activity should only be done when you're very sure all the students understand what idioms are. So having them be in pairs will enable to cover up some other students that are weaker in coming up idioms and giving them more strength to be more braver in the classroom. So basically that is my teaching plan that has been come up with. Thank you for watching this video and hope you have a good day.